A city under siege. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to another glorious Rome 2 online battle. Today we are diving right back in with one hell of an engagement. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one plays out, as this is a huge 4 vs 4. The city is completely surrounded, and we also have kind of this external island round the back, which I'm actually thinking going to be really cool to see how that plays into the battle. If the defenders are going to plan on holding that with a lot of units, and if any of the attackers are going to reinforce across the river into that. So I also want to go ahead and give a big shout out to the people who sent this in and played in this battle. This is actually being played in by another YouTuber as well, Pope John Paul, so go check out his channel. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can go check his channel. But yeah, in today's battle we have a 4 vs 4. We have Pontus, Carthage, the Syracuse, and also the Macedonians defending, and then going up against them we do have an army from Carthage, so kind of a Carthage on either side, like a civil war. We have the defenders of Kush, we have the Iceni, and also a force from Egypt. So kind of a good mix of barbarian, Punic, and also Hellenic forces, and we are already seeing a nice little sally out here by Pontus and Syracuse, looking to try and maybe sneak their cavalry around, do some rear charges, and disrupt the assault that's coming in. For the defenders, you can see that they've got a pretty sturdy defense kind of all across the settlement. Some Pontic swordsmen defending the outward layers, which are obviously going to be extremely potent and ready to fight anything. They've got some Eastern archers, just kind of a cheap missile force that can hammer away, do some decent damage, and kind of get their money's worth. We then have some mercenary Cretan archers, and these guys need no introduction for the Carthaginians, which again are going to be supporting this side of things. Carthage haven't really got that much over on this left-hand side. A lot more of their forces are going to be kind of more centered inside the settlement with the Sacred Band. They're awesome unit, definitely one of my favorite units of the ancient era right there. Macedon and the rest of the Carthaginian cavalry are going to be holding down this right hand side, and you actually see they are pushing out very aggressively on both sides. Actually, all the way over on this side you can see that they are getting ready to defend against any forces that do come in from this side, but that cavalry coming around over on the other gate is obviously going to be very aggressive. I think their main ploy right here is just to hammer these towers, because there's not really any other forces here defending them whatsoever, which basically means that this cavalry can just, stand in these siege towers, and this is exactly what they're doing. They're just looking to try and disrupt the siege towers, slow them up. Maybe the fire damage can get in a little bit more, and then just get them off the siege tower, because all you have to do is touch these guys, and they will start to dismount from the equipment, and then you can rear charge them like this. Do some great damage right there by the companion cavalry, rear charging into the back of these Royal Thorax swordsmen, doing the damage, and then pulling out, because there's not going to be many of these guys left. They're only getting some missile fire both from these Thorax who have got off, and that's going to be killing a handful of companions. They can just fall back, and I mean, that trade was definitely worth it for sure. And this is obviously just one of the downsides, as another cavalry charge comes flying in from the defensive Carthaginian factions, the blue Carthaginians, because the rest of the army isn't here to stop this, so this cavalry can just continue to harass, and it doesn't seem like the defenders, the attackers, are even planning on moving anything up here to stop these guys from doing this. So they just kind of have free roam right now. The hammer and anvil, the classic Alexander the Great strategy, into the back of his infantry, and just, put out and do it again and again and again, and until anything comes from the reinforcement attackers, then these guys are kind of on their own. And this is great because it's also just like disjointing the attack. Right now, these siege towers are kind of slowly moving up bit by bit. But over on the other side, if we take a look at it, Kush are already on the walls. They've made a breach. They're pushing them through. So, this might not sound like a lot right now, but it's going to really disrupt the enemy attack into the city. If they attack like 2-3 minutes later, that's going to make all the difference, as we progress in this battle. It does seem like, though, Pontus and the Carthaginians aren't planning on holding this initial defensive position, seeing that there are plenty more siege towers coming along, and along with more of these wall rammers. They're going to simply just fall back, kind of give up this initial position, and almost bait them into it. Kind of act as if this is like a, come into my spider web, and then the archer fire, the javelins can really start hammering home. And this is obviously a very strong unit from Kush right here. Kush have great armor piercing units, great capabilities of dealing with the heavier units of the era, of the Thorax, of the Legionaries. These guys do great. And you can see the wall crumbling in the distance. Again, it doesn't really help them too much, but these two right here are going to be massive in this battle. If these two can come round, they can really open up this defensive position and probably force the defenders back. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw these guys have to go all the way back because of what's going on here. And obviously, also, you can throw javelins down from the top. So this is a really good kind of initial starting phase, at least on this side, for the attackers. The other side is still a bit disjointed. The Egyptians are still, literally still struggling to deal with this. They finally brought up some cavalry to help out. Is that even cavalry? No, it's not. It's infantry, right? Yeah, it's still the infantry. Yeah, like these companion cavalry are down to half strength now, but my god, they've done some damage. I mean, it says they've only killed 32, but I feel like they've done a lot more, and now they're going to fall back now that the rest of the Thorax have come up. But again, these towers are burning now. When they get to a certain point from these fire arrows, they'll slowly burn bit by bit. I think so anyway, and eventually they will break. So that was a very good offensive move there by the defenders. So I guess that is what they say though, right? The best form of defense is attack, and that was definitely seen in this battle. The Iceni have continued their push as well, and they're actually fighting pretty heavily on the walls against Pontus. Kind of a weird matchup right here, Pontus versus the Iceni. But they are throwing a lot of men onto this wall, which is going to leave them pretty vulnerable to missile fire coming in from the defenders' side. But this is also going to, allow them to quickly take these towers a bit more efficiently. You can also see as well the walls have been overrun along the left-hand side, and the gate itself has also been smashed in. We do have the javelin fire coming in from the Pontic swords. And that's racking up some decent kills on this Kush infantry, who are seemingly not ready to push through. They're also throwing javelins at a wall. I don't know if that's really the best idea, guys, to be throwing javelins at a stone tower. But you guys do you, You guys do you. Maybe they know something that I don't. Maybe they're going to lodge them into the wall and climb up them Shogun 2 style. Oh, this is pretty interesting, actually. So the defenders are approaching this as, like, a separate breach. Instead of retreating back their main battle line, they are simply going to hold here, which is going to be interesting. I mean, I guess they can't break the end, but this can't actually break this part of the wall down because of these stairs. You can't break these. So I guess they weren't actually, in an awful position here. As worse as I could. I guess this could be broken down though here. Yeah, this fort wall could be broken down here. They could come in the side. That's probably what I would try and do, but maybe they're waiting to buy some more time. It does seem like they are funneling a lot of men through this breach point. And the forces from Syracuse are not going to let this go unmatched though, committing more men from the defenders' side of things. Yeah, we've got 2 units here. And they're fighting the Carthaginians, the Red Carthaginians, and their Libyan infantry, which basically are Thorax swordsmen, so a pretty even match. And with the great armor piercing from the Kush infantry, the armored Shotel warriors, they'll be able to hit that hard. Very hard indeed. And just as well, if you do get a little bit confused as there are 2 Carthaginian factions, just keep an eye on the outskirts of the flags. The light blue is going to be the defenders, and the red is going to be the offensive units. So whenever you see the banners, just kind of keep that in mind. So you can see right now the defenders are a little bit overmatched here, but not massively, whereas the attackers clearly have the advantage on this side with all of their extra banners. We are also seeing some Carthaginian Cretan archers getting very close to the sun, looking to hammer the Kush archers up on that wall. They'll be doing an amazing job right now. Them Kush archers are not heavily armored, and the Cretan archers have a perfect arc for their shots, so they will be sitting ducks for them right now. You can already see the damage coming in. I think being hammered by like the entire missile force from the defenders, and killing these guys is pretty important. But it is also providing some more infantry to get off of here and I guess act as a shield for them. Oh, I never saw this as well. There's actually a wall here, so the attackers can't, like, this part of the siege is completely disjointed. How cool would it be as well if you could break down this part of the wall? Like mid-battle, just have your men attack it as if it's like a gate or something, and just slowly dismantle it and open up another point into the sieges. Like, that'd be so cool. That'd be so goddamn cool. That would be awesome. I wish they really did take the siege engine forward. But we'll have to see, you know, what Warhammer 3 and Troy has to offer when it comes to sieges, as I'm really hoping we'll get some juicy stuff in them games. The Archer-Fired is continuing to decimate the Britons on that wall. They pop there, killing heads, but that's not going to do a killing spree. That's still not going to be doing great as they charge into the Pontic swords. The lines do clash. Oh, that guy gets taken a shield bash to the head as well. I think his ears will be ringing for days after that. But there's not really enough of them left, honestly. As that guy gets his head cut clean off, or at least should have. Yeah, there's not really enough here. Obviously, the Pontic swordsmen will be doing okay, but it's all about the missile fire. They're stopping them and slowing them up. Oh, you can actually go up here as well. This is a really cool map. I didn't realize you could actually retreat up here and defend up this position. That's awesome. So the Egyptians have made their way into the settlement. And we've done a pretty good job of it. They've brought in the majority of their army up here. They've got a pretty good defensive position. Their missiles are firing in over, and the hoplites are taking heavy casualties. You can see the Macedonian hoplites right here, who are now charging into the position, have taken you know, over 40 casualties in that unit, which is pretty devastating, honestly. As the hoplite numbers dwindle, it basically means that they're more likely to be enveloped, and obviously once a hoplite gets enveloped, it's GG. It really is. But there's still plenty more men to come forward, and you can see the fight raging on as the javelins and rest of the infantry are just preparing themselves. You can see them underneath the lion statues throwing their javelins. These are the royal peltists, getting lots of damage into the units as they do across. I think these are also royal peltists. Yeah, currently we have a royal peltist off in this battle. We also have a lone unit of Thorax swordsmen who are about to be completely enveloped by the royal Thorax swordsmen of the Egyptians. Yeah, they've been completely cut off here, and these royal peltists, oh, this is literally like a line battle right now. Instead of muskets, they're just throwing javelins at one another. It's brutal. Literally, this is an ancient era line battle, a classical line battle, if you will. Hilarious. But yeah, these Thorax are in a wrong place right now, completely enveloped, struggling to the bitter end. Over on the rear part of the settlement, though, we do actually see the small contingent of Carthaginians overrunning the defenders back here, and I wonder what that's gonna make. I mean, they'll be able to capture this capture point pretty effectively, which will give them a small morale bonus, which is nice, obviously. But yeah, I wonder how that's going to impact the rest of the battle. It would have been nice to see maybe a little bit more attached to this, so that it could be more impactful if they needed it to be. You know, if it did succeed, they could, I mean, it can do so much damage, right? Open these gates, oh, there's no gates back here. Well, that kind of sucks. Yeah, there should be some gates back here so we could funnel in cavalry, maybe. But either way, it'll be interesting to see if they do utilize that at all. Back in the rest of the settlement, you can see the assault is in full-on pressure mode, trying to overrun. We have the 3 players from the Carthaginians, the Iceni, and also the Kingdom of Kush. They're throwing in basically everything they have here, and I love the way that they are spreading their attack. The attacking Carthaginian player is putting pressure on the defenders at every single position. You also do have some cavalry moving around, but it does seem like Carthage are doing a great job at kind of funneling. The attacking Carthaginians are doing a great job at funneling in their infantry to put pressure on these guys, and this might just see the cavalry from Syracuse fall back, or just set up and wait for a gap to appear, because eventually the defenders will slowly grind away at the attackers, and as the attackers commit more men to this fight, it's going to mean that there's going to be less of them out here to defend the artillery pieces and everything else. And we also have some Pontic cavalry, which I assume went all the way around to maybe try and cause some harassment. But again, the defenders are doing a good job of probing, but the attackers are also retaliating quite nicely as well, forming up shield walls to protect their back in case the assault does fully come in. And if we take a look, the walls are still being fought over. My god, Pontus is doing a pretty surprising thing, because generally I never normally see the defenders really hold these walls, but it can be so effective because you have that side-on archer fire coming in. Oh, and the classic triangle of death at the gate as well. Doing a great job. Normally it's seen to be with pikes, but even still, you can see the piles of bodies racking up there in the distance. From that javelin fire from the other unit of Pontic infantry. Well, the Iceni are going to continue coming through that gate, looking to bring it down. As once again, I think an archer unit, an archer unit who have run out of ammunition. Their job is to hold the gate, just give them more numbers. He's cavalry moving in the distance across the hill, looking awesome. Moving around once again. Oh, we're also getting a nice amount of archer fire as well coming in from both sides. Yeah, we have the Kush archers along with the attacking Carthaginians firing everything they have into these sacred bands. And I definitely think this is a great idea. Just put so much pressure on this part of the battlefield. Because the defenders have decided to try and hold this, it means it basically creates a very vulnerable position, and exactly the attackers have seized that vulnerability and drove home their curved blades into the side of a 4-axe defending this, which is, as I said, is a really smart position to do. Because if they can funnel in more men, they can basically envelop all of these units and we don't have anywhere to run. Obviously, Syracuse could commit more men down this path and to reinforce and maybe block this off, but with all the archer fire coming in, you can see the Sacred Band, their good stats don't really protect them too effectively from heavy missile fire. Syracuse, however, are now going to be seizing this opportunity, filling in this gap, and providing a nice little bonus here. Try and prevent the men from being overrun at the breach behind them. Another unit of Sacred Band is also being committed to this fight. Why don't you just die like a good barbarian? Great Punic line right there. So yeah, the breach point has kind of been filled in with Sacred Band. Oh, however, we did just get a charge here from the Pontic cavalry. How the hell did this cavalry make it into the settlement? I guess it's not too difficult, I guess. They also look like they sacrificed a unit to do that. They got a really nice rear charge off there, and that might beat down the Showdown warriors. They're going to just about remain, but even still, that was a beautiful cavalry charge. However, the Pontic horses are probably going to be caught off there and killed. Yeah, you can see their numbers dropping very quickly as the Showdown warriors, along with the Carthaginian cavalry, double team the Pontic horse, bring them down. Where did the Syracuse horse go? Did they just come back inside of the settlement? It kind of does seem like they did. Oh, and it looks like they've actually managed to bring more men back here. So this is really interesting, actually. The Carthaginians are going to lose their men. Oh, there is a gate here? Wait, I'm so confused. If these guys come up the tower, maybe. I mean, either way, the attackers don't have line of sight. Or sorry, the defenders don't have line of sight of what's in here. So for all they know, the Carthaginians could have a lot more men in this position than maybe the defenders know about. So by doing this, you're actually drawing a lot more men away from the walls themselves. Which is a pretty interesting idea. By just committing a small force, you're still going to drag more and more men over here. I mean, to be fair, it's not like they're going to survive, but still, you probably made them bring back their cavalry, maybe think about a few other things. And that's all you want to do, is you just want to put pressure on them. It does seem like the Macedonians, though, have been beaten back kind of heavily on this flank. I mean, obviously they still have a decent amount in reserve, but they've taken a full brunt of the Egyptian assault. Missiles, archers, and everything coming in. The Cretan archers obviously on that wall, very effective. And that's doing a lot of damage to the Macedonians, really bringing them down in numbers and driving them back. And it did seem like the Macedonians did have a very elite force as well. A bit of a cavalry engagement here as well. Some of the Iceni cavalry made it inside the settlement, the heroic riders. They're going to be met by the mercenary champion riders from Syracuse, though. Some cavalry charging into the Cretan archers, who I assume are only out of ammunition. And we're going to get a unit of companion cavalry coming down the streets, looking to reinforce and cut the Iceni cavalry down. which they should do a decent job of now that our reinforcements have turned up. More Carthaginians are having to be committed to this position, and honestly, I mean, I say that the Egyptians are running low on men as well. It's kind of like, you know, they've gone blow for blow. And unfortunately, the Egyptians do not have the luxury of being reinforced by their allies. They're kind of off in no man's land, in an island by themselves, whereas the defenders can quite easily reinforce where they need to. And so far, the defenders are doing an amazing job of holding the settlement. Like, I feel like cracks are going to really start to appear very soon, because they're trying to defend everything, which is, don't get me wrong, is not a bad thing whatsoever. However, over time that does start to pay a toll, and if you're defending everywhere, it means you're weak somewhere. Hashtag Sun Tzu said that. So, you know, like, eventually one of these breach points is going to collapse from the attackers. You know, they have more money for a reason. And it's just going to be, how impactful is that going to be? You know, is it going to be this position right here? Is it going to be, you know, the Egyptian side of things? Is it going to be where Carthage and the Kingdom of Kush are attacking? We'll have to see. Yeah, you can even see a lot of these archers are having to reinforce the Sacred Band. And doesn't really seem like there's many archers to deal with these pikemen. So right now, these pikemen should be having an absolute field day. Seems like they're even having to give up a few of these positions as well. Yeah, if the cavalry wanted to, they could try and be very aggressive coming around and maybe trying to rear charge. And that would probably be enough to break them. Oh, we have some units as well out here as well. Just trying to slow them up. Some Eastern archers from Pontus. Basically just acting as a diversion out here. Slowing them up, biding the defenders more time to defend the settlement. Yeah, it really does seem like they are committing a lot to this position right now. We're also getting some more infantry being, being brought back as well. Oh, with elephants as well. Nice, the defenders have elephants here as well, which should be enough to scare the Iceni cavalry into submission. That's exactly what they have done. However, they are berserk right now, so this missile fire will be finding pretty good targets onto the elephants. There's no control over them whatsoever. Carthaginian general might try and rear charge into the back of these retreating units. However, as you know, Forex pikemen will cover that back retreat effectively, allowing them to pull back and play pretty defensive. Oh no, it does seem as well like Syracuse have committed a unit of their picked hoplites just to clear out these Cretan archers and take this position. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea just to keep on retreating these guys, like retreat up the walls and run away. Let these towers maybe try and rack up a kill or two on them. But in the long run, it's probably not going to make a big difference whatsoever. And there we go, more infantry thrown forward. And in this point, I think right here is where they should try and funnel their way through. If I was them right now, I mean, they don't really have to worry about cavalry much at the moment, I guess. I would just commit like another 4 units through this point and just smash through here. Force them to be overrun here. And you basically, like, they either commit more men to this point or you just win the battle, I think. Because you would trap so many soldiers, so many sacred bands, so many hoplites from the back. I'd really try and hammer home my advantage right here. Because this hoplite unit can't hold every single flank. You know, there's already gaps appearing right here and right here, which you could funnel men in if you engage the front line. Oh, a nice unit, nice rear charge mode by the Pontic archers into the back of the attackers, and that's not too bad whatsoever. You know, even though reinforcements are going to arrive, but even still, that's kind of funny. Again, if we take a look at the overall battle, you can see the attackers, at least on this bottom side, Egypt have committed everything they have now to this fight. And, I mean, they're probably not going to be able to fight their way through, but they're drawing in a lot of the defenders. And as you can see, the defenders are running low on men. They have gone for the strategy of committing everything to the walls, basically. And we're going to have to see if that does pay off in this battle. as, you know, their reserves are going to be running thin. They really, really are. And, you know, the attackers have more men. Obviously, as well, the Iceni are kind of running low. So I think the defenders win this battle if they can deal with Egypt and the Iceni before the Carthaginians and the Kingdom of Kush break through. If the Kingdom of Kush break through and can offer reinforcements to the Iceni and Egypt, then I think the attackers win, which will make for a very exciting showdown. And I was told that this battle does go down to the last couple hundred men, so it's going to be a very, very close ending for sure. You got archer fire, artillery fire, a flaming torch, but I don't know, that's an arrow. For a second I thought it was a flaming torch, which just got lobbed at them. And these pikemen proving their worth. I mean, when you don't have the missiles to deal with pikemen, they can just be so brutal. Another artillery round coming in, unfortunately just falling short, because they could really rip through these picked hoplites. But they are just missing. I swear they're really close as well. If the artillery is right there, and they can't hit a target this close. Maybe it's because they're so close, they're being a bit inaccurate, but even still. Yeah, you expect some direct hits. I think maybe because they're too close, they can't angle the shots down, unfortunately. Which kind of sucks. Really, really does. You also actually do have some Carthaginian onagers here as well. They have ammunition again. They really want to be unleashing them. So how are we faring over on this side? The Iceni still coming. I mean, look at this murder box that has arisen down here. The Iceni have committed so many men. And you can see that on the ground. Pontus have obviously also been taking a pounding, but they just have the advantage of being the defenders, having the more defensible positions. And they also obviously have the luxury as well of the mercenary Cretan archers and the mercenary units from Syracuse as well, which provided them some huge bonuses. You know, that extra ammunition to whistle down your partner. But the Iceni will not be giving up. They're going to be committing their last 4 units to this fight. And hoping that they can do enough. I mean, I think they'll both basically kill one another. But that's exactly what the defenders want. They don't want anything breaking through. And as I say that, the Carthaginians and the Kingdom of Kush have now broken through. Throwing their late Carthaginian hoplites up against the picked hoplites. And the pikemen now, oh wow, this is huge. You've got pikemen covered by the Shotel warriors. However, the pikemen from Syracuse are also advancing, so both sides are just in a murder box right now down this street. And does any side have their archers left? Because if they do, this could be huge. I think both sides are really running extremely low in ammunition. We do have some cavalry coming up, and I think they're going to be going right out of here, maybe trying to seize, you know, now that the defenders are stretched, the attackers are having to commit more men, and maybe this companion cavalry can get some work into the archers. How are they doing over on this side? Yeah, it seems like with their, you know, their sheer support of one another, they managed to deal with the Egyptians. But as you can see, you've got the Carthaginian general, the Carthaginian elephants, you've got Macedon here, and you've got Syracuse. They're basically 3v1ing Egypt, and now Egypt are pressed into this corner with a unit of their pikemen, ready to hold their line and just, you know, cause an issue if they can. Do these guys get bonuses against elephants? It doesn't look like. I don't know how well elephants do against pikemen in vanilla. If they destroy them, or if they don't. If only you could do the classic Alexander the Great movie strategy, where you run the elephant down the line of the pikes, completely disrupting them and throwing them up. That'd be pretty epic. But the attackers are going to continue on this assault, looking to break forward with a lot of men. We can just go on triple speed or double speed for a little bit, allowing more men to filter in. But yeah, the Iceni have been completely broken. Completely broken. Bar one unit. You have the Macedonian cavalry engaging the Egyptians, so the successor kingdoms now fighting for dominance against one another. You got the Iceni last unit deciding that this position is completely lost. and falling back. But once again, the defenders have just been working very well together, whereas the attackers have seemed a bit disjointed. But I guess that's the nature of the defenders. You know, they have that access of being all together, whereas the attackers are going to be much more spread out. You know, the Egyptian general running for his life right now against the glorious companions of Alexander. But the Carthaginians are making good progress on the attacking side, at least. They are still dealing with the pikemen, who have not lost a man yet. Wow. Yeah, the pikemen are doing great against the attacking Carthaginians. Don't know where all the pike... Oh, it doesn't seem like the pikemen, but the picked hoplites there got slaughtered, though. My god. The Kingdom of Kush could be trying something a bit fancy as well. Just try and make it through this small gap with some men to get around the side. Because if these Showdown warriors get in, they will slaughter the pikemen. But it seems like the African pikemen, though, have got a good push-off. And all of a sudden, look at that. Yeah, the pikemen are not doing too good anymore. These guys were full strength a second ago. And now they're down to 100 men. The African pikemen have an amazing push-off right now. I'm not sure if it's because they're more condensed or what, but their pikes are doing so much more damage. And finally, the pikemen from Syracuse do go in a little bit more deep. And yeah, they start getting their returning fire. But they lost a lot of pikemen in that position. And all of a sudden, the African pikemen have to fall back right there. Oh, could the Showdown warriors charge? Oh, they do! They do charge in and get in on top of the pikemen. Wow, huge stuff right there. And that could literally win them the battle. Being able to breach through that with the rest of the infantry is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. We do, however, have the African pikemen once again as well, just picking away. I think the attackers are in a great position right now. Obviously, they weren't able to breach any other positions, and now the defenders are going to be able to shift over the rest of their force over to defend these choke points. However, if the attackers can break their way through, then they definitely stand to gain massively from this battle. They really do, because as you can see, like if we go triple speed, if we go onto the big map, as it triple speed lags our way up there. Oh my god, it's so slow. What the hell? Yeah, as you can see, like they have so many men still left remaining, like good quality men, and really able to drive the defenders back. But the problem is for the attackers is that they are stuck in this little segregate place. You know, they're stuck in the position of only having 2 lanes to really attack from. And you can also see the defenders as well are bringing a nice amount of cavalry around. We'll go back to normal speed now and watch what this cavalry can get up to. I mean, it's going to be a grind. There's not really much cavalry left, though. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a grind for a little bit because there are really seemingly only 2 choke points. That either side can really go through, and the defenders do have their reinforcements, but yeah, it's going to be inch by inch they're going to lose men. Oh, it seems like the defenders are also hiding in these siege towers as well, as the cavalry charge does come in. Pretty effective, actually. There's just not really enough horses left remaining to really hammer home. But every armored Showdown warrior you kill is going to be useful. It's going to be useful. Indeed. I wonder if they have like any ammunition. They still have the pikes, so I mean having 2 units of pikes at this point in the battle is huge. If I was a betting man, I think I would vote for the attackers to win this one, unless the defenders have a lot of ammunition. Seemingly there are only a handful of points the defenders really have to defend, but they don't really have that much infantry to defend it. And if there's just pikemen left remaining, I can quite easily see them breaking through and going to the capture point, wherever the capture point even is. Over here, by the looks of it. Yeah, I think the pikes are going to win the day for the attackers. We'll have to see. There's still 18 minutes left in this battle. And the defenders still do have pike units of their own from Pontus and other infantry. The Carthaginians are looking to try and seize control of these towers, though. They have managed to nullify them, so if they wanted to, they could go through the gate, or actually they have to control the gate, right? Yeah. We are seeing the attackers and the remaining Iceni unit as well now engaging. This is the last breath of the Iceni. Oh, and the Macedonians did overcommit a little bit. They're going to take a few casualties there as they try and pull back. And at this point in the battle, doing that is absolutely brutal. We are seeing though the foot companions. Oh wow, okay, maybe I don't know how to take that back. The foot companions are such a deadly unit for Macedon. And we're seeing more pikemen turned up. Yeah, maybe if this foot companion unit can 1v1 like all the pikemans individually, that's going to be huge. Also, they are kind of turned in though. What? This is just a mosh pit right there. Don't really know who's going to take down this one. Yeah, this is kind of a bit of a mess of a pike line. And the foot companions are going to reform. And if the foot companions can reform, I think defenders have a solid defense there. Without like much reinforcements from missiles, I think it's going to be kind of hard for them to truly break through. At least in that position. Yeah, I don't know actually. I guess maybe I take that back. I mean, the Carthaginians are doing a great job on the attacking side of like causing a lot of issues. But then the defensive Carthaginians have just turned up with the elephants, and that's going to be very devastating. Pontus are obviously defending a lot of these positions. The foot companions are going to be so difficult to break down. They really are. And it's just going to be like whose pikes can really dominate. And I think Kush still have another spare unit of pikes as well. Yeah, they still have this unit of pikes as well, which could just break through. Oh, we are seeing the foot companions now go in. They've done it. Yeah, they're losing man for man right now. And that's not what you want to have happen. Oh, there's some missiles still coming in as well. Oh, the javelins from noble fighters. Oh, this is absolutely huge. As they take down a handful more of these foot companions. That's deadly. That really is. These pikemen can get that push off as well. Yeah, I feel like my betting man is going back into the attackers. However, these elephants are racking up the damage. They're also receiving the damage as well. Archer fire. And the African war elephants are going down, but not before taking out a large amount of these pikes. It's so surprising as well, seeing this many pikes left in the battle. It really is. Like, normally pikes kind of just get killed pretty quickly, but they absorb ammunition. That's kind of their role. Oh, you actually have some Balearic slingers still left remaining? That's huge. However, the cavalry is trying to find their way through. Well, that cavalry, there's no way. The Carthaginians are going to come in and save them. And that's going to be, hopefully, enough ammunition to deal some more damage to these African pikemen. However, foot companions doing pretty decently. But down to 71 men. And the pikes back here have just fallen back. Not needing to overcommit. So it does seem like the sheer weight of numbers has finally collapsed the defense on a few positions. The defenders deciding to give up this choke point, which I guess I understand, because now the pikes can be hit from multiple sides and draw them into kind of this death box. But I feel like these Showtail warriors, which still left remaining, the mercenary noble fighters, will do perfectly against these pikemen. You know, there's just not enough of them to really do the damage. If they can get around the side, it's over. Over on the bottom side as well, the sheer weight of numbers have come in clutch. And is this the final capture point here? Where is it? I think it is, right? If they capture this, the defenders have to fall everything back. So, yeah, it's kind of a bit risky here. If they do capture it, that is. This will be the final stand right now. And obviously putting pressure on that rear capture point is huge. We're getting pikemen drawn up, and that's going to continue just to funnel the Pontic forces back. However, their plan has kind of worked. They've managed to rear charge and flanking charge a unit of these Kush pikemen. But I don't think this is really a unit to do it. I don't know if the Eastern archers are going to be enough to kill the Kush pikes, but it will take down a handful of them, so I guess not all bad. Over on this side, we have noble fighters going up against the Pontic swords. Blow for blow right now. And how's that capture point looking? And then we have the, yeah, they're trying to surround this unit of Showtail warriors, but then we have a unit of pikes turning up as well. The Iceni have some men, and the rest of the attacking Carthaginians are quickly reinforcing. Carthaginian cavalry could be huge, but Yeah, this battle's going to go down to the wire. I feel like the defenders have this battle because of what's going on in this section. And obviously keeping this cavalry deployed down in that point for the defenders is huge. Yeah, I think the attackers are looking very good at this point, but who knows? All it takes is a couple rear charges, and that completely changes the way that the battle does end up. Yeah, with these pikemen turning up, we're gonna have to see the defenders fall back. We're gonna have to, because if they capture this point, it's only 3 minutes until they win. So, but they're gonna get overrun if they do try and retreat. Like, yeah, you can see the pikemen going in. The Pontic swordsmen did kill them though. Did kill the Kush warriors. But now the pikes are fully stuck in and embedded into that battle line. And you can see them breaking the defensive Balearic slingers. The Iceni moving in their general. So it's actually a really good idea by the Iceni to keep their men alive. However, the Carthaginian cavalry is going to be moving around. These are the defensive Carthaginian cavalry, by the way. No, the offensive, sorry, the attacking Carthaginian cavalry because of a red border. Just charging into a Pontic swordsman. Maybe not, though. I mean, they are very spread up, and the Kush pikes are close to breaking. If this cavalry can turn up, maybe the attackers have this one. They still apparently have some ammunition left on this artillery. I don't really know where from, but they do. The Iceni coming into the side of the Pontic swords, doing some nice damage. Here we go, the cavalry turning up, and this is going to be huge. They're going to break the entire unit of the pikemen. Oh, what a clutch charge right there. Right into the rear of the Kush pikemen. And that could completely turn the tail of the battle. Yeah, and all of a sudden the entire Kush army is routing. The Carthaginians are starting to falter as their general goes down, and I think just like that, we're going to see the Carthaginians break, and the defenders are going to take this one. They're retreating back everything they have. This unit of African pikemen are falling back to the bitter end. But I mean, maybe not though. There's not really any infantry left. Pontus have a couple units of swords left, and that's about it. I feel like this cavalry coming in though is going to be absolutely huge. You know, into the back of the mercenary noble fighters and into the noble cavalry. Yeah, I think this is GG right there. The defenders have a huge balance of power in their favor. Yeah, so you go, another unit breaks. The last couple units of Carthaginians are going down. However, the Pontic general is about to break as well. This cavalry needs to go work double time, and just like that, the Pontic general just broke. Oh my god. I literally cannot believe what I am seeing right now. The Iceni are now capturing the city center. And we only have like 2 units left. We only have 1 unit of Pontic swords and a unit of picked hoplites and a unit of noble cavalry left. Oh my god, what an insane battle. This is actually crazy. I mean, balance of power is so heavily in favor of the defenders, the attackers. I don't know who even red is. The balance of power is really one-sided. Must be the attackers who is favoring right now. Yeah, must be. But this cavalry, who knows what this cavalry can do. There's still 6 minutes left of this battle somehow. But they just lost another unit. So now all of a sudden the attackers. The defenders, sorry, just ravaged another unit of Carthaginians. And yeah, you can see they've captured this point now, which is forcing this cavalry back. I don't really know where this unit of pikemen are going. Oh, is that not the city center? Oh, this is the center. Okay. So this cavalry is kind of leaving this unit to fight against Syracuse and Pontus, so they'll probably win this battle. But yeah, they're looking to defend this position right now. With the Iceni, like, block off this position and then move around. And yeah, I mean, what a crazy battle. Sorry, I thought that was the city center. This is the city center they need to capture. I think definitely going after these noble fighters is a great idea. Because your cavalry, with the weight they have, will probably be able to break these guys, even in shield wall. You know, this is a unit of late Punic cavalry. Yeah, you rip through them. As long as they keep moving, they'll be good. And pull back, trample a few men. They might even break them on the charge. They did put the Headhunter ability, though, giving them huge attacking capability, so maybe pulling back wouldn't be a good idea. The pikemen rushing to reinforce and actually capturing the city center as well. Does seem like they did manage to capture that. Also, what the hell is happening over here? Why do they still have 2 units? Are these guys, like, desynced or something? Oh, they probably glitched out. That's insane. If these units glitched out here, that is so unlucky. Unless maybe they didn't glitch out. Oh my god, these two units would have won them a battle. They probably will still win the battle, but even still, how crazy is that? No, the defenders are going to win, for sure. Because they can surround this unit of pikes, hold the city centre, and it's just over. Yeah, look at this cavalry coming in. Pikes. Ooh, whoa, what a retreat right there. Yeah, there's no way these guys can really withstand this. They can charge into the Iceni again. And that's going to be all she wrote. The Carthaginians trying to have their backs up against the wall. Make one last epic stand. Unfortunately, but I do not think it's going to be enough. Maybe it is though. This battle is insane as the Punic swordsmen get close to breaking. The Iceni have now faltered. And the Iceni are no more. But I don't know. I can't see this unit of African pikemen holding. There's nothing they can really do because they can't initiate any attack orders. You have swordsmen coming in. And I don't know. I don't think the picked hoplites will break. And you also have that cavalry as well coming in from the side. Yeah, the morale is dropping with this cavalry charge coming in as well. They've got some men completely around them. The African pikemen are dropping quickly. Man, I feel sorry. I feel really sorry for the attackers because if them 2 units of Showdown warriors didn't glitch out, they had this battle. They really did. Unfortunately, though, the Carthaginians just are dropping in numbers, and that is going to be GG. What an insane battle. I just had no clue who was going to win. I actually can't believe how much that battle flipped towards the end of the engagement. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as well, because what an insane battle. And there you go. Defenders claim victory from that engagement. There's 40 seconds left. I assume these guys break. The last 2 Showdown warriors break. Or they probably just concede defeat. Actually, I would say. Because, yeah, they take back the city centre. And they probably just concede defeat. Oh, wait, no, they didn't glitch out. Oh, no, they did glitch out. That was just like the handful of them. There's still probably loads of them. Yeah, they're still all in the siege tower. Man, Rome 2, man. She can be a cruel mistress. She really, really can. What a battle, though. So massive shout out once again to Pope John Paul, I imagine, for letting me go ahead and play cast this battle. Someone else did send it in, but he played in it, and I'm assuming he's going to use it as well. So shout out to him for letting me use it, and obviously go check him out in the comments down below. Take a look at the kills. We'll start off with Pontus. Yeah, huge kills on their swordsmen when they fought against the Britons. We also have the hoplites doing a very nice job as well. The attacking Carthaginians, or sorry, the defensive Carthaginians, racking up 290 kills on that unit of Balearic slingers. Pretty juicy. And finally, the Macedonians, their royal peltists, doing the business. Over on the attacking Carthaginians, their noble fighters, 300 kills. Pretty juicy. The Iceni struggling to really get going, but their cavalry did very admirably for sure. Over on the Egyptian side of things, again, royal peltists, their swordsmen, their Galatian royal guard, not bad whatsoever. And then obviously the Kingdom of Kush always doing good with their beautiful swordsmen. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.